Welcome to the RPG Podcast.
And we are live.
Oh, God, Patton!
Presented by SHEATH. A Time Wheel production.
Welcome everyone to the Robert Patton Global Podcast, RPG Podcast. You can find us on all of the podcast networks, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all of them, Stitcher, I think. I'm here with the one and only Wayne Meligan, and he was on 2019 season Forged. Is it 19 or 220? No, it was 2020 season of Forged in Fire.
It was season 6. Season 6, yeah. But it came out and aired in 2019, back in August.
Oh, it was. Oh, that's right. Okay, it was 19. And so you were the champion of that episode, and you have a skill that I would say a lot of people in this day and age do not have, but you're really good at it. Like, you're not just some amateur kind of messing around in your garage. You have all the equipment. You have like many iterations of building the swords, knives, special fighting, like medieval type equipment. Can you elaborate on that a little bit for the audience?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've got a shop. It's next to my house, but it's like a whole other house, pretty much. 1,500 square foot. And out there, I've got a pirate bar, because everyone needs a pirate bar. So yeah. and then the back of that, there's like a dungeon for leather work. It's pretty cool. You got this big 4-inch thick dungeon door, and then back there, I've got all my leather working stuff. Or I just want to sit back there and chill. And then that's all air conditioned, heated and aired. But then inside the actual shop floor, yeah, just like what you said, it's a straight up professional blacksmith, bladesmith setup, and it's almost like coming to a museum, because a lot of the tools I use, especially my anvils, I mean, these things are 100 to 200 years old. A lot of the tools out there that I use, and it's crazy. People are always just kind of in awe when they come see my shop for the first time.
Yeah, well, so I was watching the show Forged in Fire, and really cool. You stood out amongst those other guys, like, without question. You know, it's just like, this guy has some personality. You dressed a little bit differently. Your look, like you mentioned earlier, is like a pirate, a little bit kind of vibe going, as you, and you know, and even your dungeon has a pirate in, like a pirate statue, and a lot of it is that kind of motif, I guess, right? Kind of, and we'll just real quick.
It's what I like, man. I like yeah. Rock and roll. I like skulls and just fire. Just I don't know, man. It makes me comfortable. So, you know, when we bought this house, we got this house like 8-9 years ago, and it was an office out there. It was painted like this hideous orange color. It was terrible. And like Halloween was coming up, I wanted to throw a humongous Halloween party. So this was back before I was ever a bladesmith. We made the whole shop into a 1,500 square foot haunted house, and then made that office into basically like a bar. We painted the walls black and hung up Halloween crap everywhere. Then after the Halloween party, which is absolutely just nuts, there was hundreds of people here. It's crazy. But I was like, you know what? I want to keep this up year around. But, you know, I'm not, you know, people come in and see all the skulls and stuff like that, and they think, oh my God, this is evil. I'm not a Satan worshiper, man. I'm on the good team. And I was like, well, what can I call this so people know that this is not nothing bad? I said, well, shit, it's a pirate bar. And so yeah, we rolled the pirate bar, and I play guitar, I sing, I love music, and I love rock and roll. So that's kind of like me, you know. I like to wear all the dark stuff, headbands, and people always tell me, like, dude, you look like a pirate. You look like a pirate. It's not me trying to look like anything, man. I'm just comfortable. I'm comfortable. That's the way I like to. That's the way I dress. And so yeah, when I was looking for a name to call my forge, you know, people always call me a pirate, anyways. And I live here on the coast of Florida, and I'm always on the water. So I was, hell, you know what? Might as well own it. Pirate Forge.
Own it. I love it. Yeah. I mean, why create something? People are already calling you a pirate, and you live on the coast of Florida, and so there's water but it's perfect. It's perfectly fitting and unique and kind of fitting. I think I just said that. But you said you moved there 8 or 9 years ago, and you hadn't even started bladesmithing yet. So and you're good. You look like you're doing really well. So when did you start that, and how did you even get into that?
So I started in 2017.
Oh my God.
I'm just now about to hit my 4-year mark. So it's pretty much like I'm a total newbie. I've just got some weird talent for this. How I got into it? Born and raised Northwest Florida. I'm a country boy. I grew up out in the river swamp, but we spent a lot of time out on the Gulf of Mexico, fishing offshore. So I was everywhere. So being raised that way, I always worked with my hands. I was always building things with my dad, just always working. And so pretty skilled. I'm one of those guys that can do almost everything. And long story short, after college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was like, you know what? I'll just go into nursing, nursing of all fields. So I went and got my associate's degree, worked in an ICU, went back and got my bachelor's of science in nursing. And I was running a 26-bed ICU, CVICU open heart unit. And so I have 12 years experience doing that. And I was, again, the crazy pirate bar. I built this big dungeon door. It's 4 inches thick, and I put a skeleton key in it because I didn't want to use a regular key. I had to have a Mortise lock with a skeleton key, but because it's 4 inches thick, the skeleton key it came with didn't work. So I was like, hey, those guys on that Forged in Iron Bonfire TV show in history, those cats can do it. I'm sure I can do it. So I went out and bought the crap, just some old cheap anvil and a propane like a map gas torch. And dude, I forged a skeleton key for that dungeon door. And I was like, that was really easy. I wonder what else I can make. Maybe I can make a blade. And in no time, it just like a snowball. 8 months into doing that, I was on a TV show, Knife or Death on History Channel with Bill Goldberg was the host of that. A lot of people don't know about that one, but that came out back in like 2018. And I was on that show, and that was crazy. Became friends with Bill Goldberg, and I made him a blade. But nice. but yeah, that's how it all started, man. Just out of nowhere. But it was so weird because I'd always wanted to do something and work for myself and be known for something, but I just didn't know what it was. I was clawing at anything and everything, trying to figure that out. And just out of nowhere, bladesmithing, man. The first time I hammered hot steel, it was like I was set on fire. Like I was like, damn, this is what I should be doing. This is it.
That's so cool. And as you're saying that, I'm thinking like the times that we live in with technology and the internet and SpaceX and Teslas and shit, and you're like going back to the Middle Ages, but there's a yearning, I think, for that, a longing for some just the old, the what is that when it's like primal, something just original. That's not the right word, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Old world, back at the beginning of time, man has survived because we make tools. And that was the first thing we made. We were sitting out there grinding pieces of rocks on other rocks to make sharp instruments to cut. I mean, it's an innate thing that's in our blood. And, that's why it's just so badass to do this. And what's even crazy? You're talking about SpaceX. I've been messing with meteorites. I'm forging a sword out of meteorite right now. And I just forged a Bowie knife out of real meteorite.
And meteorite is from like an asteroid or something, or meteor?
Yes, asteroids from outer space. Yeah,
that's so cool. And is the metal harder than, or is there something?
No, it's actually, it can't be hardened. It's iron and nickel mostly. But King Tut had a meteorite dagger. James Bowie was rumored to have a Bowie knife forged from a meteorite, but the stuff is super expensive and you can't harden it. So what I've been doing is I mix it with high carbon steel powder, refined meteorite, and I forge this into a meteoric steel is what they call it, a carbon steel. And I'm able to forge these blades and stuff out of it and actually harden them. So it's better than what King Tut had. So it's kind of, some really, really nutty stuff. Even though this is primitive and, medieval barbaric, dude, I'm putting my own spin on this stuff and doing crap that other people just aren't doing.
I love it, and it looks a little bit dangerous, thrilling when you're melting that metal and you're having to twist it and hammer it. Do any of like the hot molten pieces ever like get on you?
Oh yeah, my arms are all scarred up. There's burns and scars everywhere. Even if you wear clothes, whenever you're forging, because what I do as a bladesmith, I don't melt anything. You have to bring the steel up to a forging temperature, which is usually around above 2,000 degrees. The steel just glows. Based on the color of the steel, you kind of know what temperature it is, because if you forge it, get it too hot, you'll burn it up, you'll melt your steel. If it's too cold, you'll get stress fractures and stuff in the steel. So you heat it up, and then you beat it to your will. You're slinging it with hammers and power hammers and press. So when you're doing this, you'll have pieces of the scale and pieces of that steel fall off. And if it hits you, it just sizzles like someone's cooking bacon, man. And it kind of smells like someone's cooking bacon. It's crazy. But even if you wear clothes, it'll burn through your clothes. So you know what? Whatever, dude. Like I'm here rocking and rolling. It's just part of the trade. But yeah, I look beat up, but it's cool.
It is cool. It's very cool. So yeah, because I imagined, for some reason, when I thought of making swords, I thought you would have some sort of like molding, and you would pour molten lava into the mold, and then it like cools into. But I've also heard, that I heard like Joe Rogan talking about making swords and knives and how you have to like bend the metal and like hammering it down. But when I saw the show last night, it was pretty like you make the basic shape like that, but then after the basic shape is made, then you sharpen it. And I had no idea how it was done. So Forged in Fire, very cool show. It's fun to watch. And, it kind of teaches you kind of what.
But even that show, you're only seeing just a little minute glimpse at the craft, because it is a TV show. They have to cut a lot of the stuff out. There's a lot of science and metallurgy that goes into making a blade. That is the foundation of a blade. So they don't even discuss the heat treat. I got a lot of stuff invested in all my electronic kilns and stuff to test hardness and look at the grain structure. There's a lot to it. But yeah, when you forge that blade out, you're going to forge it really close to shape, and then you'll grind it to the final shape. But there's certain steps to everything. But what's so crazy, one of those swords may consist of 1,000 steps. One screw up of one of those steps, you just destroyed your entire sword. And it could be on that last step of it, and you just ruined a month of work and thousands of dollars worth of materials. So yeah, it's not for everybody, man.
No, I mean, but you see, okay, a couple of things are coming to mind, and I want to say like Japanese swords, but we'll get to that in a second, because you're so new, and some of the guys you were going up against had been making this type of thing for 30 years, and they got eliminated quickly, and you somehow beat them with such a small amount of experience. Like
a year and a half experience was how much experience I had that was filmed in 2018 in December. I was at a year and a half experience. I was yeah.
But they were really impressed, and I was really impressed because compared to your opponents, they their blades were chipping and not as sharp when your stuff cut through the melons and the sandbags and stuff. That guy was like, "It will cut, it will kill."
Yo, Doug Markida.
Yeah, one of my team members loves when he says that, apparently, and he's like, she was talking during the whole episode, explaining the whole like season. I'm like, I'm kind of trying to watch this, but okay, tell me what it is. And he was like, the contestants love when he says it will kill. Did that make you happy when he said that, or whatever?
as a bladesmith, forged in fire, it's kind of like going to the Super Bowl. Let's say you're a football player, you're going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, that's kind of what I would equate it to. So it was really cool being such an inexperienced new bladesmith at a year and a half. And also, I haven't had anyone teach me this stuff, man. That's the crazy part of this is a lot of people will have mentors or they have a black bladesmith they work up under. I'm just a wild ass country boy out here in Pensacola, man, just heating and beating, and just things are just coming. They came so natural, so fast. And again, I'm definitely a go-getter. I run off of rocket fuel, man. All I drink is coffee, but well, I mean, I drink water and other stuff too. But what I mean is, I'm not guzzling down Red Bulls over here, dude. This is all natural energy. So it's just, I'm just cracking over here. And
you need to get sponsored by Red Bull or Monster or something though, and just hold the can up. You know, I bet that's coming.
I could, but dude, there's nothing like some good old black coffee. I'm telling you, do you drink coffee?
Oh my God, all day, every day. Yeah. I mean, like I cut it off around 3 p.m. That's if I drink it past 3, I stay up too late. But I like some Black Rifle coffee. Okay, that's pretty good. We're not sponsored by them, but just espresso dark coffee. Like
nice, yeah. That's me. Colombian is what I like. But yeah, a little bit of everything. But that's what I do. Great pre-workout as well.
This podcast is brought to you in part by ohanakavabar.com. Now, Ohana means family, but what is kava? Kava is a root from the South Pacific. It makes you calm and happy. Just go to ohanakavabar.com, choose your favorite brew. They have many to choose from with more on the way. And I personally like the tincture. It tastes good. It gets you quick and you're calm and relaxed in a moment. It cools and calms the nerves. Some call it an herbal Xanax. I think it's quite fine. And I think you'll like it. Let them know we sent you. Support this podcast by supporting our sponsors and support this company. It's run by a fine gentleman who worked in the nursing profession for 15 years before he finally was able to break away from the chains of the 9-to-5 and start his own company. He takes pride. He loves it. He drinks it every day. I love it. I use it all the time, and I think you will too. So go to ohanakavabar.com, use promo code SHEATH. You're gonna love it. Doesn't taste that great, but chase it with a nice pineapple. You will not be disappointed. Trust me on that. ohanakavabar.com. Ohana's family. Use promo code SHEATH. You're welcome. Our next ad is for another plant medicine, if you will. It's called Kratom, and you can get it at soapcorner.com. SOAP corner with a K.com. Go to soapcorner.com, use promo code SHEATH, and of course, last but not least, sheathunderwear.com, the greatest underwear on the planet, the underwear of legends, the underwear that keeps your balls from sticking to your legs. That's right. This is the best underwear because it keeps your boys cool. Check out sheathunderwear.com. Back to the show. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't need to get a fancy workout. Just get some coffee. That's what I drink, is just coffee and water for the most part. But so, and maybe we'll come back to Japan, but I want to talk to you about your mentality, because this show, we typically talk to people who have made some sort of a success of themselves and like what sets them apart from people who haven't and just have an everyday cubicle job. What made you get out of that pattern of just a normal everyday 9-to-5 type thing and start doing this? Like, what makes you different, if you even know?
Oh, well, I know I'm different, man. That's not a question, but the thing is, man, we're only here. We get one shot at this life. Don't piss it away. Don't waste it. Make it. If it was a book, make it a book people would want to read. And I love nursing. I was really good at that job. I really was. And it was awesome to help people. I really made a difference in the community with that job. But it's just, I wanted something more. And it was like when this bladesmithing stuff hit and I first started doing it, I felt like I was born again. I really did. I felt like I was rebirthed, and it was like my life just started. And my life is good. Like I said, no issues, but I don't know. I can't, it's hard to explain. I guess I think we're all born with special talents. Not everyone finds what theirs is, but if you find it, the magic really happens. And that's what happened to me. I was ate up with it. And then two, I had so many people tell me, you can't do this. Oh, you're dreaming. Oh, he's talking about leaving nursing and he's going to be a knife maker and this and that. Because as a critical care intensive nurse with the Bachelor of Science and all the degrees and stuff, it just,
wow. Okay, you went all in.
I was making good money, really good money for the area and stuff like that too. So everyone just thought that I was a fool. They all laughed at me. And you know what? I basically told them all to kiss it. And I just jumped on it, man. And for me, it's never giving up. I like to tell people, you never fell until you stop trying. As long as you're always got your eye on that prize and you're pushing, so what makes me different? I'm a different kind of animal. Well, because I am an animal. But the reason it makes me different is I'm not doing this for money. A lot of these people get into a business or whatnot because they're looking for money. I'm not looking for money. If I wanted to make sound investment money, I would have stayed being a nurse. I was sitting in the launching chair to go and hire up management, and that would have been it. I want to be a legend, man. I'm not here to make a buck. I want to be a freaking legend. So that's what I'm doing. I'm pushing the boundaries. I'm doing crap other people don't do because I'm a man on a mission. And I wake up thinking about it. During the day I think about it. I go to sleep thinking about it. I even dream about it. And I'm not stopping. I don't know where this ride's going to take me, but again, I really feel like I've accomplished a lot in a short time. And it's just like a snowball. It just keeps getting bigger. So maybe that's what makes me special. And two, I like to tell people, chase your dreams
and make them big. But what it sounds like to me that you're saying is you're obsessed.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's one you have to be. How can you be successful at anything really if it's not a beautiful, magnificent obsession? How can you be great if Michael Jordan wasn't obsessed with basketball or whatever? Would he have been as good as he is? No, he played it all day, every day, and had that burning fire inside him to be never, be outshone. And and it sounds like kind of you have that same intensity towards your passion. And I feel like anyone that wants to do anything needs to have that, or you might still make it, but you won't, it's just, there's levels to making it, I guess.
Exactly.
Success.
You got to keep going. And like I said, if doors shut in your face or even people tell you can't do something, I really think people really can't accomplish whatever they put their minds to. It's just the people that are really successful are the ones that don't take no for an answer, and they never stop. They never give up. That's why I talk about that thing, about failing, because as long as you're still working towards it, you have not failed. And my other thing I really tell people that I really love that I heard, and they talk about getting big or whatnot, and you say it's a lot of luck. Well, what is luck? How you define luck? What I like to, I love this. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity.
Boom.
So think about that. Get prepared, get on your stuff, get on the stage and dance your ass off. Just keep dancing on that stage and prepare. And then when opportunity knocks, seize it. And that's real luck. That's what luck is. So
I couldn't agree more. That is, because you're taking that opportunity and you had prepared yourself for that. And it's like, when is this opportunity going to come? I don't know, but you better be ready and jump on it when it does, and don't let off the gas, I guess, because there's somebody else that will jump on it and take it from you.
Sure.
Maybe. And there's also enough. I would never actually want to say that there's only enough room for one person to be successful. There's enough room for us all to eat and do well if we kind of find our own passions, because not everyone wants to be a bladesmith. Is there a reason you say bladesmith over blacksmith, or is
it's two different things.
it is
There's a
okay.
blacksmith or a farrier. A farrier makes horseshoes for a living. A blacksmith might just forge ornamental things. But my expertise is in blades, knives, swords, axes. So any kind of an edged weaponry, or we don't have to call them weapons. I mean, they're tools. Not everything I make's meant to go to battle. I mean, I make some pretty awesome fillet knives and chef knives. But that's why it's mostly a bladesmith. A bladesmith is someone who specializes in the making of blades.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I just had like this glimpse of a vision of, your name being like on a brand of knives or something, that are, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Well, that's eventually what I'm working towards. I have so many people that want my knives, but I'm one person. I can only make so many. And again, too, if I'm always making the same stuff, I'm not going to grow as rapidly as an artist. So that's why, I keep pushing myself doing these crazy projects. And then when I get done with them, I'll look at the hours, the materials I got to, and then I'll price them, and usually the first person to buy them. But again, I get so many messages every week. I can't even respond to all of them because it's just, so that's my thing. I'm trying to do more with the videography and all the behind the scenes. So you don't have to buy a blade from me to be part of all this. You can just be an aspiring bladesmith yourself, or someone who's just curious about it, following my social media pages and the YouTube that I'm getting rolling. You can really see the behind the scenes and how this stuff goes. And eventually I'm going to work with trying to get some kind of way of making some kind of a production line of blades that are up to my standards. And that way everyone can have a little piece of that. But it's just, I'm all about growing organically and just rolling with it. But it's
you're not in a rush.
I've only been full-time for 2 years, coming up on 2 years now. So it takes time.
Absolutely. You don't want to rush it. Organic is the way to go, because some companies grow too fast, and then it's like it's like a steep rise and then a steep fall, whereas like the organic, you're building your customer base over time, and the loyalty and the connection is real. It's not bought, and then therefore it just doesn't get forgot the next day. It's like legitimate, and that word legitimate, something like that. Yeah. Then that's how SHEATH kind of grew. We didn't rush it. We slowly grew, and at some point you pass some sort of threshold where it just kind of avalanches to an extent, but you kind of are on some seemingly meteoric rise, at least in your field. Would you?
Well,
agree?
I mean, there is a meteor. You want to see a meteor?
Yeah.
I know that the listeners can't see it, but check this out. It's just sitting up here in my office.
It's pulling it out of a leather sheath. Is that a sheath? What would that be called? And
that's a leather sheath. Yep, that I made for it. But this is that buoy that I made out of meteorite. So yeah,
wow.
Meteoric for sure. It's especially when you're playing with knives, making blades from actual meteors. But
that looks like
SHEATH,
it had.
I love the name.
Go ahead. You go.
Oh, I love the name of your company, the SHEATH.
Mm-hmm.
SHEATH underwear. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. SHEATH. That's really. It's awesome.
It works. It fits. That's a really for people couldn't see. He was holding up. Did you call it a dagger? And it was a knife. That's not a dagger.
This is a Bowie knife.
Yeah, and it's just really well put together. It looks like something. I don't even know. A machine would make. It's like the fact that that's made by you is something.
Every bit of that too is so crazy about this art that you can really see the pattern now. You see that?
And is that the Damascus?
That's not Damascus. That's
you
meteorite.
just said it was meteor. Yeah,
that's meteorite mixed with carbon steel, so the carbon migrates, and I'm able to harden it. But all the shiny stuff, that's Gibeon Campo del Sierra or something called, and Mundalusia. It's like 3 different types of meteorite mixed with a high carbon steel powder in a canister. And then I forged it out and heat treat it. So, I mean, this is like King Tut level stuff. King Tut had one of these. So me, a few other folks in King Tut.
You're an exclusive. It's a good small group to be amongst. Sweating in there. I'm in Texas. You're in Florida. It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot here. Hot here too.
Yeah, we were just opening up a new warehouse. I think I might have mentioned that here, and
nice.
So I left my sweet home in Colorado, where it's nice and cool and dry. I like it there.
Yeah, but you guys got mountain lions up there in Colorado, and it's very tall and cold and dangerous. My wife's from Glenwood Springs, and she's taken me up there a couple times. I swear she tried to kill me one time. Took me to the top of this mountain to go snowboard. I saw my life flash before my eyes. It was terrible. We're going up the ski lift. She's like, "Oh, you're doing so good. Let's go to the top." So like we're 10,000 feet above sea level, and as soon as the lift hits the top of the peak, this snow blizzard hits, and it looks like something out of a movie. And I'm scared, like oh my god! And we start going down the thing, and like if you go off the cliff, you're dead. And like so Colorado is really, and this is, you're coming from a guy who wrestles water moccasins and alligators. Colorado is scary.
Good. Keep telling everyone that. We'll keep it our little secret. I enjoy it. I moved. I've lived in Texas, Georgia, California, Virginia, and Colorado. And I do like Colorado, but because they're just the weather's right from my. I have a weird skin condition or something. I'm not sure. In Florida,
I totally get it.
Yeah, it's like muggy, but it's good for SHEATH underwear down there because there's a lot of sticking going on down there. Probably.
Yes, and I first tried SHEATH underwear. And I was wearing them, and yeah, they feel great, super nice, super comfortable, and just really nice underwear. But I got my real experience of them really proving their worth because as soon as it started getting hot, and like excuse my French, but swamp ass season, and it's real. It's a real season here in Florida, and man, it's like wow. They really game changing, and it could totally tell the difference. I'm hooked.
Thank you. It's weird. It was such a simple fix, like it sounded to me earlier. You were talking about the story of how you got into bladesmithing by making that key. You needed a longer key, so you made one. I needed underwear with a pouch in it, so I made it, and then I wasn't trying necessarily to build some company, and it wasn't about the money, definitely back then. Or, now, even now, the money's great, but we're having a lot of fun in the process. And I think if you keep it fun, the money will follow, and not just fun, because you got to take it serious too. And it's like real work, but don't,
it's an adventure. That's why I tell people, if you're going to be a business owner, you're going to work 7 days a week. You're going to, at least you're going to feel like you're working every single day, but it's part of enjoying the ride. No matter where you're at, how successful you are in your business, there's something to be said about working for yourself. And it's challenging, but like I tell folks, it's just awesome. Like you said, every day is an adventure, and it's not all about making the money. It's just about getting out there and doing the hustle and having that goal. It's I can't describe it, but it's amazing.
Well, I watched a movie called The Peaceful Warrior with Nick Nolte and some dude, and it's about this gymnast, and he broke his leg, but then he comes back and he like goes to the Olympics and all this. But during part of the movie, he takes them on a mountain climb. He's like, "We're going to go to the top of the mountain. There's something up there that I want to show you." It's kind of funny. And so they're walking up the mountain. They're having a great old time walking up the mountain, and they finally get to the top of the mountain, and there's like nothing up there. And the guy's like, It's like, what the fuck? I thought you were bringing me up here for some reason. And he was like, well, we were having so much fun on the way, but we got here and now you're disappointed. It's and the lesson was it's about the journey. And even with SHEATH, for instance, and you can probably attest to this and, you know, tell your side of the story, but every time we reach a new goal, it's like, okay, well, we got on to the next one. I only stay at the quote unquote top of the mountain for a minute, like literally a minute. Like, okay, this is awesome. Let's keep going. What's next? Because I like the journey. I like the hustle and struggle. Like, and I would assume, like, because you said it, like, it's about the journey, and every time you reach a new milestone, you don't stop.
Nope.
You know, you keep going, and maybe you take I mean, you know, how do you celebrate a victory, and then when do you decide to keep moving forward?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'll make a milestone and be like, all right, it's time to go celebrate this, blah blah blah, and hey, we'll go celebrate this next week. But then next week I get busy doing something else and just keeps getting pushed off. So I've got too many milestones to count now to go celebrate. But again, it's just working. Before I came up here to do this, I was out there in my shop working. I'm about to get off that when we get done with this podcast. I got to go pick up my son, spend a little time with him, then back in the shop, back to work. Man, it never stops.
No, yeah, I was same here. I was doing meetings and took my team out to lunch, and then I was like, I gotta go, and they're about to drive back to San Antonio, and after this I'm gonna go back to the warehouse we're opening up and just make sure that's fully operating before we go back home, and actually we'll see what happens when I get back home. I do have a couple of vacations planned, or at least in my mind. We haven't actually made the reservations, but I want to go to a beach somewhere with my wife and
Pensacola Beach. I'm telling you, as far as going somewhere in the United States, it's just sugary white sands. The water is just baby blue aquamarine. It's like you're in a tropical paradise. It really is.
So forgive me, but is that on the Gulf side or the Atlantic side, or
Gulf?
Yeah, I guess there's
Gulf.
Okay, good.
The Atlantic is garbage because the Atlantic, it's like the water is murky. Because I used to surf. I surfed a lot. I used to surf a lot, and we'd make trips over to the East Coast to surf over in Jacksonville and St. Augustine. And yeah, you put your hand a foot under the water, you can't see it. I'm like, this is disgusting, and this is like what they live with. But here in the Gulf of Mexico, like you can be out there 30 foot deep and see straight down to the bottom. It's gorgeous. And again, the sand is white. Whenever I go into St. Augustine, the sand's like yellow and brown.
Okay. I'm going to talk to my wife about
Pensacola, Destin, Orange Beach, anywhere in there. It's just look it up. It's really nice. It's beautiful, and it's just starting to warm up. You come here in the heat of the summer, like around June, July, it doesn't get any better. It's like you're in paradise.
That sounds nice. I will have to. Yeah, I got to get out of. I feel like I need, or not even deserve. I would hate to be. I deserve a vacation, or I deserve anything. You don't deserve anything, but there's something to be said for self-care, self-love. Getting. Yourself taken care of, so because you don't want to get like burn out or whatever, right? Do you how do you take care of yourself, or do you just fucking 100 miles an hour every day all day?
100 miles an hour all day, man. No, I like to go fishing. So there's lots of really good places to fish around here. I can fish from land. I've got a boat. My dad's got an offshore boat, but I like to go out on the river. I live 2 minutes from the river. I live right on the bay. And I can drive 15 minutes and I'm on those sugary white sandy beaches like paradise. So really, I've got the best of both worlds. But that's how I relax, man. I'll go out and kick it at the beach, or I'll go up the river in my little river boat, and it's so peaceful. I catch all kinds of beautiful fish, keep just enough to eat, and or even just drink coffee on my back porch. I've got all kinds of exotic trees. I used to be big into planting trees and landscaping stuff before I was a bladesmith. So I've got all these beautiful garden and trees and it's like an oasis. If you make your home like paradise, or you feel like you don't have to go on a vacation because you feel like you're there. You just got to stop long enough to enjoy it.
Yeah. We just moved to the Woodland Park, and we live on the top of a mountain, and the view is amazing. And it's not the biggest house. It's like a normal 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house or whatever, but the location is so perfect. And I want to just keep that house and kind of do like a Warren Buffett, stay humble, but make the house as nice, like you said, your little own oasis in your own paradise. So you don't really have to travel. And I kind of feel that way, but I just want to take my wife away for something, get away.
That's what my wife says. She goes, "You got to take me to the beach. We got to go to the beach." Where she moved here from Colorado. She said the reason why she came here was because of the beach. And she goes, "I married you, and then you never take me to the beach."
This is false advertising. What's going on? Okay, that's funny. She sounds cool. And you guys got a kid, a couple, or just one son?
Yeah,
or
just one. I'm good with one. He's busy enough. Little Wayne. He's 6 years old. So
that's funny. I have one daughter, one and done. Also, I'm cool with that. It's
nice.
I guess if God blessed me with 10 or whatever, I'll take whatever I get. But I'm happy with what I got for sure. She was born on my birthday.
I think so too. If we had to slip up and have one more, that'd be okay. But I think I'm good with one. Just one little protege. All I need. Then we got some fur babies. We got 2 dogs. So
what kind? Sorry.
A German Shepherd, about 130 pound AKC German Shepherd called Davy Jones, and then like a mutt dog that we had adopted that was next door that grew. Long story. These people had a bunch of dogs they couldn't get rid of. They had babies, so we ended up taking one of them. But then we got chickens too. I got 3 chickens. I had a one-eyed chicken, but something ate the one-eyed chicken, so now I'm down to 3 chickens. But we got lots of critters around here, and there's a beaver in the creek too that's by my house. So lots of interesting pets.
You're not a city slicker. You're a little country boy.
Oh, no.
Countryman. I grew up in Georgia. I've never really lived. San Antonio is probably the biggest city I've ever lived in. I did live in California also for a while, but it's just like all these tiny little cities. It's all suburbia where I was living.
I don't like city life, man. I feel caged in. I'm like an animal. I gotta have woods. I need woods and property. Yes, absolutely.
Right. We have.
Plus, I'm really loud. I'm really noisy, so people don't like to live next. People don't like to live next to me. I'd get kicked out of a subdivision.
I bet, but you might be the life of the party. They probably wouldn't want you to leave. I don't know. Because you just have a really charismatic, energetic personality, which it's not every day, there's people out there that you just kind of blah, but you're full of life. And
it's crazy, dude. Used to always be parties and crazy people over here, and we had a mini bike gang up and down the road, and always building things. And just you never know what the hell was going on here in the road. But my neighbors go, "My God, we live next to Bam Margera," is what they used to say, because it was just always just craziness. But that's the way you're supposed to live, man. Have fun, have a good time, be good to people, but have fun. Live outside the box. That's what I do every day.
Yeah,
be yourself.
Shit's getting weird out there, where you get.
Oh hell yeah! No doubt, man. That's why I make my blades and I go fishing. Everything's wonderful.
It is. Yeah, I've pulled out of like politics, for instance, just because I'm just like, I'm not getting involved in this shit. You guys cancel each other and have fun with that. I'm gonna build my legacy. Yeah,
it's crazy world, man. And like I said, I'm just one of the good old boys, and I give everybody a chance until they prove me wrong. Yeah. And I'm surrounded by a good group of friends, and just
Let's talk about that. Tell me about, like, because I'm also, and real quick, because I wanted to say this. Two of my best friends, that they're both local business owners, were nurses, and they transitioned from that field into owning businesses like you did, which I found just a coincidental based on your story. And I wonder how many nurses parlay that profession into their own, working for themselves.
Not many, actually. Most of the nurses that I know, they just kept climbing up the ladder, basically going from a nurse, getting your bachelor's. Then they either branched off into nurse anesthesia or nurse practitioner. That's pretty much what everyone has done. I've been the only crazy one, man.
Anesthesia.
I play in my shop all day.
That sounds so fun. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad, the show Breaking Bad?
I never watched that. I think I watched like an episode or so. I think it was interesting, but I don't watch a lot of TV, so it's hard for me to get hooked on stuff like that.
Well, the reason I bring it up is because one of the main characters, Jesse, he's like this drug addict, they're doing meth and all this, but like his vision of peace and what he wants. I'm weird. What he wants for himself is he just wanted like a little workshop like you, but he wanted to build wood. He wanted to,
be a woodworker.
Yeah, be a woodworker. I'm actually get a little bit emotional sometimes when I think about these things, because people hold themselves back, and they fuck their life.
Well, it's scary, man. It's scary to go pursue some of those, because some of those dreams mean that you've got to take a risk. So, I mean, and some of these risks are big risks, but it's just the same thing I told you before. Again, you get one shot at this, and it's better to have tried, and if it didn't work out, whatever. But that way, you're not sitting there at 75 years old saying, I wonder what could have happened. I wonder if I would have pursued that dream. So yeah, man, like I said, people listening in, if they're thinking about doing something, stop thinking about it. Go and do it.
There's always a reason to talk yourself out of it, and like the people around you will be like, you can't, you're going to fail.
Now you use that energy, man. I love it when everybody tells me that crap, all the stuff that I was told for years, that you can't do this, you ain't going to be able to do that. Again, I'll still hear people scoff, but usually that's just people that are jealous because they're too scared to make the move and take action. It's real easy to talk crap about somebody, but really it's just, they're just envious. They're just jealous. But
they're hating.
Man, like I said, I try to be cool no matter how successful I get or where this leads me. I'm going to try to be more motivate and tell folks they can do it too, and get out there and chase your dreams, pursue your passion. You got to do what makes you happy, man. Don't do what makes other people happy. Do what makes you happy.
Yeah. We need to be examples of what can be done by just following you're not quitting. That was one thing you said earlier that also stood out. It's the dream isn't over until you quit, till you give up, till you stop working.
Yep.
You can, and anyone who's successful knows, like, even again, I use Michael Jordan a lot as an example, but I failed and I failed and I failed, and that's why I succeed, because he didn't quit. He kept failing until he succeeded. And that you just started 4 years ago, or right 4 years ago, and you started with nothing.
really full time trying to make this a business 2 years ago. So, but like I said, hey, guess what? The lights are on over here at Pirate Forge, so it's a success. We rocking and rolling, and like I said, the future is bright, and that's keep climbing that mountain, man. Keep going up.
Absolutely, yeah. It's there's Sisyphus. That's another story. He's the dude that he was like pushing the rock up the mountain, and he had to come to terms with that. This is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life. because every time he'd get to the top, it'd fall down. And you have to keep pushing it back up. But eventually, he falls in love with pushing the rock up the mountain. And I mean, that's not a great example, but you love what you do because that's what you're going to do. And even when you get up to the top of the mountain, you don't ever quit. Like, even like me, for instance, let's say I could retire and go drink margaritas on a beach for the rest of my life. That would be cool. And this is silly. People use this example all the time, I think, but that would be cool for like 2 weeks. And then I need to get back to, maybe not even that long, probably. I wouldn't make it 2 weeks before I'm like, I need to do something.
Yep.
Because otherwise, like, if you're not creating, or, we're here to create, we're creators, it's, at least you and I are. Some people, and maybe not everyone is meant to be the CEO or the one leading the charge. You have to have followers. And so, right. And not so much followers, but people that help you along the way. Not everyone, can be the king or something. He has to have his team. You got to have a team, but you don't really have a team yet. It's just you, right?
I'm putting it together. It's in the works. I've met, like I said, some good friends. I've met a really good guy, and he's helping out. Basically like an apprentice, but also he's doing the camera work. Got to have a guy behind the camera. So we work on that stuff together, and working out. We've got a home gym put together, so we're killing the workouts 5 days a week, about an hour to an hour and a half a day, getting out of just high intensity weight training. And so yeah, man, definitely got a team. My wife, my other crazy buddies, and my parents and family. So it's, you got to have a strong team behind you. You don't have to have a team, but it damn sure helps. And if you're wanting to grow, especially as a business, eventually you're going to have to get people there working with you. So yeah, it's, like I said, we're working on getting this Pirate Forge thing up and off the ground.
Pirate Forge. She is on Instagram. Pirate Forge. No, is that right? Pirate Forge. That's your Instagram handle.
Pirate Forge.
Oh, okay, good. Earlier you talked about a group of people that you hang out with, and I'm not. And I kind of spun it off into my friends who are all business owners. But there's like some principles of success is like surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals that are they're not going to bring you down. They're going to support your goals, and they maybe have goals of their own that, you have like maybe friendly competition to build each other up and keep each other from getting too discouraged when failure or, roadblocks occur. Do you have something like that?
Oh, well, I got, like I said, I got a couple of real close friends, and we keep each other in check. You start having a little bit of a bad day, and your buddy say, "Hey, dude, suck it up, knock that shit off, pick yourself up, and get moving. You've done this, and this, and this, and hell, you ain't got no shame in your game, bro. Get rolling, get moving." Yeah, so I like that mentality. I like that as opposed to someone that comes up to you and hugs you. "Oh, you okay?" I like to give them a real kick in the rear. And that's what me and my bro, like I said, most of my bros, they're all wild country boys from up here in Northwest Florida as well. And so yeah, like I said, man, ditch the dead weight. You got friends that are just, like I said, you said, surround yourself with people that are successful. And again, success doesn't always mean the person who's got a super rich company or this and that. Success is can be defined in many different ways, and it
could be a mind state, and in a sense, I mean, if you're happy, in a way that's successful. There is the whole ignorance is bliss thing, and some people are just happy being mediocre.
Hey, that's great though too. Good for them. But yeah, I think success is what makes you happy. And I think, that's why you see a lot of these people that have what we may consider as success. And then the very next week, they commit suicide or overdose or something like that. You hear it all the time, these rock stars, these famous athletes and stuff. And so yeah, man, money's not all of it. It's being happy with yourself, who you are. And if you're not happy, quit yakking about it. Get out there and make a change and make something happen. If you're not happy with the way things are, get out there and make a change. And people say, "Oh, it's really easy." if you've got a decent life. But I've been through plenty of stuff, man. Everyone has their crap, and just being able to adapt and overcome. And like I said, you really can change to a certain point. You really can. You can make change, but again, it takes action. So, but I'm happy, man. I'm rocking and rolling over here, doing what I love. It's warming up. About time to go do some fishing and making some really awesome stuff. So yeah,
you're pumping me up. I'm like inspired by your energy. Do you have any books or anything that you have ever read, or any philosophy or anything to share with the listeners?
Not really. I don't.
You've been doing it. No, okay. Yeah. Well, I will. I'm going to recommend this book.
Okay, what you got?
It's called Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. I think I have it here somewhere, but you can look it up. And it's really just, and it's, the funny thing is a lot of people do this naturally. Before this book existed, the successful people were working in this way. And by successful people, I'm talking, well, like Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, whoever did Alexander Graham Bell. This dude interviewed all these super successful people in the early 1900s. Andrew Carnegie, he was like, what? He basically created a philosophy of what made them different than the average people, and a lot of people they were doing it naturally. And it sounds to me like you already have that kind of ingrained in your mentality. So you don't even need the books. I'm just doing it, and I love that. And that happens a lot. For me, it came, maybe I had it naturally and maybe the book enhanced it or whatever. But if anybody's looking for some motivation, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude, it's a fun read.
All right.
You read, there's a lot of stories of people that just came from nothing and made it to the top. And so there's no excuses, because people are blind, and black people back in the early 1900s were, still today, sometimes I can't do this, but like there's so many examples, no matter where you come from or where you started, there's examples of somebody that has made it. So
absolutely, someone who's made it that had it way worse than you did.
Yes,
always.
Yeah, always.
Yep.
So there's that to there's no excuses, and if you want to do it, do what Wayne was saying, just get off your ass and get moving, get after it. So we're coming up on an hour, and we'll go ahead and start wrapping it up. I just want to make sure that, can you tell us like what's coming up here and where people can find you and whatnot?
Well, I'm making a Meteorite Sword, which is the first Meteorite Sword on the face of this planet Earth that I know of. It's never been done. So I'm forging a Meteorite Sword. This is for my buddy. He probably doesn't care me telling Dan Bilzerian. If you know Dan Bilzerian, he's a go-getter. He's a trip. He's got a great beard. If you couldn't tell, I like growing my beard here.
He has the best beard. He has a jawline.
Yeah, his beard game's strong. But Dan's a cool dude. So I'm working with him on some really crazy stuff. And so yeah, I'm bringing this Meteorite sword to life. So yeah, get on over there and watch that, because I'm knocking out this Meteorite Sword. Then I'm jumping to a 1 million layered Damascus traditional katana. You talked about Japanese swordsmithing. I'm going to show you some good old country boy USA American swordsmithing, 1 million layers on a Japanese style katana. I'm going to pay a little tribute to that. So yeah, cruise on over there to my stuff, YouTube, getting that building, and Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But yeah, you want to see some of this crazy stuff that I'm bringing to life and follow some of this adventure. Absolutely. Yeah. So cool stuff, man.
And hopefully, and hopefully, we had talked in a previous phone call about maybe doing something together somehow, collaborating.
Absolutely. I love the product. Sheath underwear. It's helping me. It's one of those things I never knew that I needed until I tried it out. So, but absolutely, from the working in the heat to the blacksmithing, the crazy work I do, to even the gym. Like I told you, we got this gym growing, and we're out here kicking it, trying to make those gains. And yeah, the sheet, the stuff you guys make is fantastic. So yeah, I'm looking forward to working with you in the future on some stuff.
Yeah, I know you're like, I'm in the gym every day. I'm trying to get shredded, because why not? I guess, right?
Oh, We getting there. We getting there.
Ooh, look at them guns. Okay.
We getting there. We getting there. Soon enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Wayne, for joining me. That was very exciting.
All right, Robert. Hey, I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate it.
So they can find you at Pirate Forge on Instagram, YouTube. Just Google it.
Yep.
Pirate Forge. Okay.
Yep, Pirate Forge. You can even search my name, Wayne Meligan. You can go watch me on Knife or Death or Forged in Fire. My Forged in Fire episode is actually on Netflix. So if you're wondering who I am, you can go to Netflix. The Falchion episode.
The Falchion, yeah. That's the
Falchion, the medieval machete sword. Perfect.
Dude, and that was very impressive. I was very impressed with your bladesmanship. Is that a word?
That works. I make up my own words. It's fine. Bladesmanship's perfect.
I love it. All right. Well, thank you again for joining me. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into another episode of the Robert Patton Global podcast. We got another successful guest in the books, and we'll be back next week. Thank you very much, and have a great week.